Hello, good morning. Um, Everyone is coming. I decided to just go ahead and go live because I know, sometimes you all show up and you're present, and I don't want to keep you waiting too long. And they'll be here shortly, so I shouldn't be on here by myself for too long. So this week is the Ten of Diamonds week. Um, as you've seen, I put this post up of Steve Harvey, and I didn't know that he was a Ten of Diamonds. Actually. So that's what kind of happens. Of course, if you don't know, now you know. This is a YouTube live. I'm talking about Instagram, YouTube live, and every week we come here to discuss the cards. And we have topics and conversations about what we see during the week and how it relates to that particular card. So the way that the energy works, there's 52 weeks, and then within the year, every week is representation of each particular card. So you see the relationship and you see the energy of each card week by week. And the way we look at it is it can be seen as far as uh, hello, Madeline.
Hi, Rashawn. Keep going. Keep chatting. I just popping up. I'm going to get dressed and happy to be here. And it's what week are we in? Eight of Diamonds week?
No, Ten of Diamonds.
I always go the other way. It's so
Yeah, you're going
funny.
backwards.
I must really live in. I must be living in the wrong direction. I got to check in on that, man. So, the 10 of Diamonds. Well, that's good. I much prefer the 10 of Diamonds week coming in for this time of moving. That's great. But what were you talking about? What'd you open up with?
No, I was just introduction as far as what we do and why we're here every week. So I didn't get into deep about anything really.
Okay.
And don't mind my sniffles. I'm gonna hop on camera here in a second. Um,
Yeah, I've been sneezing a lot too. Now I'm on your time because not all the way your time, but like it's 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, I can't believe he does this all the time. Wakes up, has to start talking to people. Like, what the hell, man? Like, you just really take a lot of hits and grace, man. I'm just like, all right, we'll wake up at 6 in the morning and make a YouTube. Okay. I'm like, who would say yes to that? But Gina, I'm gonna say for me, I really appreciate it, and I think Gina does too, because it got us doing it. And I'm glad. I'm not dissing. I'm just thinking, like, damn.
no, I hope y'all.
Madeline, are you at your house now? Are you in Utah?
Nope. Nope. I'm still traveling. Wow. I'm in Green Spring, Utah. I have 3 hours and 38 minutes until we get
Wow,
there.
you're still on the road.
Wow.
I'm still on the road. And last night was tough. It was really beautiful riding through Colorado. I'll send you guys some pics. Like, it was just stunning. But driving a 26-foot truck with a car behind it, and Miles doesn't use words. He just sits there, but I feel everything. I'm like, damn, this is intense. I can't wait till this is over. So it was really intense. And we packed on a bunch of hours. Oh, we can do 5 hours, but 3 of those hours were through those really windy Colorado big mountain things in that big trailer. So it was a long day.
Yeah.
But we slept and we did silliness. Like, my son's like, okay, I'll book your room. You guys just sleep and then get up. And he booked the room for next week. So when we got here, the room wasn't booked. It was just all sorts of crazy shit. But I'm like you, Gina. When that stuff happens, I go hysterical laughing. I think it's so funny. And the other people are like, why are you laughing? I'm like, because this is the universe. Like, this is the fun now. Like, this is when you think all the pieces are 1, 2, 3, and then you're like nope. And that's like where it gets funny. And they're like, this isn't funny. I'm like, okay, sorry. So everybody's Miles is going back for his coffee. I have to take a shower, but I'm listening.
Oh my God. So, yeah, it just makes the trip, even better. I think you're like, well, what else? What can you do?
Yeah, exactly. It's another part of the movie. Exactly. Mm-hmm. What are you gonna do?
What can you do?
Yeah. Exactly.
What day did you all start traveling?
We didn't start traveling until Saturday. So we started packing up. I was so ridiculous. And Thursday, like, just pack up the truck, leave Thursday afternoon. Oh my God. We were so much packing to do. So we didn't actually leave till Saturday. So I didn't go down to South Carolina, North Carolina to see my middle son because there wasn't enough window of time. So we left Saturday afternoon, I think it was. And we've been going. We've been going. But, like, yeah, it's a lot of hours.
Yeah.
It's like 37. So, we did like 7, 8 in a day, this and that stuff. We got the dog, but she's been so good. Like, only thing is that she thinks the whole front seat is hers. So she kind of looks at me like, can you sit somewhere else? I'm like, no, actually, I can't. You can. But that's what happens when you're my dog, I guess. But no, we've been chilling. We've been listening to stuff. Like I said, Miles turned me on to this card stuff he's been listening to every day, and I didn't even know. And we've just been singing along here and there, and sometimes just chilling, just quiet. And mostly, I just notice how beautiful the world is and how much land there is. Like that Dust Bowl of Kansas, just land and corn and corn and corn and land and land and corn and corn and farm and farm. I was like, damn, there's a lot of stuff just sitting here. So that's yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But
I'm trying to see. Did you all start during like in the essence of the Ten of Diamonds week, and to seeing how that played out?
It's not the reward card to her, right? The King of Diamonds reward card is the 10 of Diamonds.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I was looking at that last night about the Pluto card, and the because the optimism that comes with the
I
Ten of
know that you love so much about me. Keep going.
Yeah, I was trying to see what. Why is this so optimistic?
I want to hear her. What the fuck? I know. Mm-hmm.
But overall, the what I was thinking about what you was talking about was just with essence of the Ten of Diamonds was the travel, and the exploration and seeing things new. I think the Ten of Diamonds and that energy in Jupiter is expansion and travel because it's Jupiter. It's like the Sag. They got to travel and experience the world, take and like it's like tens. They say it's like the completion, right? So taking all the experiences they've had, and I'm working. I do the reason I do get up early because I do travel for work. I do Amazon part time, so it's not that bad. But exploring, I think the Ten of Diamonds and like the tens, they have to get out of wherever they are and travel the world. Like the Ten of Diamonds, like I was talking about the Sagittarius, that's an energy that is about knowledge, information, expansion, but in order to do that, I think they go through life experiencing a lot of different things, and they take those experiences and use it for information and knowledge to maybe pass on, help other people, or teach, um a lot of things sometimes the person wise, the Sag is a very interesting energy. And they can be a good thing or bad thing. Like I said, it goes through extremes, of course. And it's hard to like really tie that energy down, and force them to do anything, and it is because I think because of the information and knowledge and the experiences they take with them on the road or wherever they go out through life, and then they're able to kind of teach other people and give it to them kind of bluntly. I can definitely see it with the Ten of Diamonds, Ace of Spades, and Mercury. Um, so when you was thinking, I was because the Queen of Clubs, I made a post like the Queen of Clubs, like she'll take this trip out of town because you was just taking too long to decide because she wants to explore, like they will travel alone, like forget you, like what are you talking about? I'm about to go, and they may get them in a little trouble because they may spend their money. But yeah.
Yeah, they have that Queen in Jupiter too. So they have those two queens and then the Queen in Jupiter. So that's you see the spoil energy, the entitled energy. But I think also they're very generous You know, the 10 of diamonds has a big heart. You have a 9 of hearts in Pluto, you know, when they give, you know, that it definitely comes back to them, you know, and they're, especially when they're giving, because I think that's the big thing. Like there's such a shine to that energy, but if they don't have a purpose, I feel like it can be kind of hollow, kind of empty. You know, they can feel like, because you know, they talk about how with that Jupiter, it's a bright light. You know, kind of like that 8 of diamonds, and how we were talking about that whatever week, last week, the week before, about that energy and how, you know, they reach that point. Yet if there's nothing, if there's no substance, if there's no purpose, if there's no love, it can feel empty. And I think the 10 of diamonds, you know, they're that energy of like really having that, you know, when their heart's in it, oh my God. Or if they really love you, oh my God, you know, they could easily, it can be, I don't say smothering, but I could see it being smothering. This is big energy. So
Yeah, with the two queens there, yeah, I can see that. Queen of clubs.
talk about a helicopter mom.
Is that what?
Like a helicopter mom. It is like it's a very, and that's the thing too, that mothering, that nurturing, and because those queens at the highest, they're to be of service of some way, you know, giving.
Yeah, and it's about children. And unfortunately, this week there was an incident of someone um going against children, or it was a sexual abuse case that came about from a Three of Diamonds. Do you remember that time we was in class and Aquarius was talking about the Three of Diamonds and their karma with their sexual natures? And she was saying they shouldn't be around children, or if so, if they on the opposite end, they may have been abused as children.
Mm-hmm.
If they're more protective, or the Jack of Hearts Saturn makes them sort of a sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
Was you in that class?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the three. I mean, there's certain cards you can tell, you know, that can be things that they experience or dealt with, because one, like the 7 of diamonds too, they have the Jack of Hearts and Venus, and then 3 of diamonds having the Jack of Hearts. Because that, you know, there's a younger energy, you know, in the Queen of Clubs has the Jack of Hearts and Pluto. Remember, I think she went through that as well. You know, how they can either be very protective of the kids, or a lot of them can go through custody battles with their kids, or, you know, have, I found a lot of the Queen of Clubs men have estranged children, or children, you know, kind of spread out a little bit, if you will. So, yeah. And 10 of diamonds, and they don't have the Jack of Hearts directly in their spread, but I've noticed, I think it might be a vertical card to them. But it also sits on that path, you know, in the cross, if you will. So there is a very strong essence, and they transform into a Jack, which, you know, Jack energy can be very childlike. Are y'all gonna come back on camera? There's nobody there. There, yay! Thank you. You're on. You're muted. You're muted.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah,
There
I'm in the car. I'm trying to pick up a shift before I go into work. Yeah, but yeah, the Gina's like, don't leave me hanging.
so I'm gonna sign off.
To even get Gina on camera, right, is a fight. That is like usually this is growth beyond measure.
I can't. I don't know what it is, but like both of you not being there, I'm like, I gotta go. I'm not
This
gonna.
is growth beyond measure. I remember the first time that you was on with Aquarius. I think it was Aquarius, Genevieve,
Yeah, and
and, who else?
and Ty. Mm-hmm,
I,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
yeah, and you was like in the dark. I don't even know if you was on camera. You was, it was
Yes, baby. That was like 2 years ago too.
right. Gosh. So yeah, with the what was you saying about the Ten of Diamonds?
That you said the children, and I like how it can be a helicopter mom or very overprotective,
Mm-hmm.
all that queen energy, and then you talked about the 3 of diamonds, and asked me if when, Aquarius was talking about how that energy can
Yeah.
either be overprotective or abusive to kids. Then we kind of went off on a tangent.
No, you find no, yeah, I remember now. But yeah, you were talking about the Queen of Clubs and their patterns with children. Yeah, I definitely have seen even the Queen of Clubs, and they have the Ten of Diamonds connected to it, right? So it just makes sense as far as, and there may be a divorce in the Ten of Diamonds path. It has the Five of Hearts Saturn, so there may be separation within relationships, and then they have a Ten of Spades and Mercury. So even the Queen of Clubs, they may get into an early relationship, so they may divorce early, but they may or may not remarry depending on their experience, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it having like taking custody or custody battles with the and parental roles, that can be a challenge, with in Ten of Spades has the Queen of Hearts and the Four of Spades, which it challenges is challenged by the Four of Hearts, I'm sorry. Ten of Spades is challenge, and I'm saying that because that's the Queen of Clubs, Mercury, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So marriage and relationships early on in life, right? It has to be looked at in its patterns with the responsibilities within the home, because the Four of Hearts is the home, it's the family. The Queen of Hearts is the mother, right? So they can take full custody. I've seen them take full custody or have to take the men take responsibility, but either or, if they're going to end up in court, it's going to be a custody battle for the children. And then you also see that with the Nine of Clubs a lot as well, with children and the mother. So yeah, so the Ten of Diamonds and the Queen of Clubs have a really close relationship, because the Ten of Diamonds is displacing that Queen of Clubs. So that real mothering and smothering energy. You have the double queens that's in alignment and support with it. And the Queen of Clubs also has the Jack of Hearts and Pluto. So the Jack of Hearts is around children. You can be around daycares and a lot of those concepts, So you're seeing that sacrifice or time or committing your love, using that love energy for those less fortunate or younger than you, So when you look at hearts, is looking at age, like you said, it can be someone younger than you as well, especially with the Jack of Hearts. This is young energy, right? So it's the karma to do having to be playful. You have the Ace of Hearts, Jack of Hearts, Three of Hearts. I'm not gonna say those are your most playful cards, but your hearts, usually is very childlike. It's all actually six in the spiritual role, Mercury. So it's dealing with children, education, all those concepts.
It's fun, and that's the thing. Like, you think about when you're a kid and like going outside and, you know, taking chalk or, and that's like something I like, the bubbles. And I at 44, I love bubbles. Let's go blow bubbles. Like, it's so much. So, keeping, and I think that's a big thing of the Leo energy, that inner child, and keeping it playful, keeping it fun. Because I mean, shit, who wants to be so serious all the time? Like, that's just not as much fun. So, um, and I think that's a big part of that Ten of Diamonds too, is trying to keep. They have the threes, and I think the threes, the fives, the jacks, they're some of the most playful, creative, and a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs because it can be sporadic and all over the place.
Yes, trust me.
And so they,
For Cocoa Puffs.
huh?
Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Yeah, that's good.
Just too much going on. Three jobs at one time, like me, right? I have like three different things going on as we speak.
See? See? And so the Ten of Diamonds has the two threes, has fives, it has, so they have to tap into that creative, fun, playful, because I don't think a lot of people talk about as much as how much pressure that Ten of Diamonds can have. That card can be very cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs too, because there's a lot of pressure, I think, to shine, to achieve, to succeed, to be big, because it's Jupiter, and if they don't like relax and have fun, it can become very overwhelming. Remember, their reward card for life is that Seven of Clubs, and whoo, that card will, it can become a quicksand of the lower side, because remember, that's the faith or fear. And if their mindset isn't in a positive mindset, it can, I feel like that can be their downfall sometimes. And it makes sense too, because they transform into the Jack of Clubs. So they're the sevens and the jacks being like the bridges in the cards, and the initiations when from the mundane to the spiritual, and then from the, like what I call the peasant to the mastery jacks. They have to kind of operate from that higher place, or again, it can be detrimental their mindset. So having fun, using those threes and fives on their fun and higher side of creativity, of being free, of not like, getting stuck in certain things or certain ways, it can be very beneficial to them. But at the same time, if they don't understand that, it can also be it's a lot of pressure. That those tens are, as much as they are a success and a win and accomplishment, it's not like you just sat on your couch and it fell in your lap. You had to go for it. You had to really, do the work to get to it.
Yeah, you can't get comfortable, you
Yeah.
know. And because as much as Jupiter's success, it can also be extremely lazy, indulgent, self-serving, on all of the like low end, the low spectrum of that energy. Um, so, and I also have a five of hearts Saturn, so if you don't have that loving nature, and the nine of hearts and Pluto, if you're self-centered, self-focused, you're going to find time to escape, indulge into yourself, and emotionally drain. It can be emotionally draining, right? Nines is supposed to be service to other people, communities, but the five of hearts and Saturns also make you need space and time for yourself. If you don't, it can probably affect your health, or affect the way you deal with people. Like you said, if you don't have the love like that you express, then you know that's that's going to do nothing but hinder you. you know.
You have to be willing to, like, yes, they can have it all, but they can also lose it all.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? With that nine and Pluto, and when it comes to Pluto, and so that's why I feel like and with that five in Saturn, like, you can't be attached to it, the materialistic aspect of that card, right? Because in the blink of an eye, and that's why, see it as a celebrity energy. You've seen celebrities make it to the top and fall right off.
Mm.
So you can have it all, but you can also lose it all. So, and then I think that is when the Ten of Diamonds can, like that pressure, the pressure to have it all, the pressure to, accumulate all this.
Wealth, love,
Yeah, can be a lot.
arts, and Venus as well. So like the love and to be selfish, they can possibly get fixed in that, right? So you, like you said, the pressure to have it all. When you ever have an ace of hearts in your daily or your weekly, or your yearly, that can be a time where you can become very selfish and want people around you, a relationship. On my side, it can make you a humanitarian, but because it has for them, they have the nine of hearts and Uranus. Is it for them, or is it their Neptune? Yeah, Uranus. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, Uranus for them.
yeah,
So they're ultimately supposed to be humanitarians and not be so self-indulgent, selfish. Um, as you said, the nine hearts works on the streams. And if they don't have the ability to give back and properly love, it's not a card that's really going to be able to kind of work for you if you work on the low end of selfish and so yeah.
yep. And that Ace of Hearts, like you said, that's a, if it shows up at a yearly or even a weekly, it's a strong desire. It's like you yearn for this affection, but that's when you can't. I think it can be a very demanding card, at its lowest, when it's, because you really have to be able to fulfill those. What brings you joy? What brings you pleasure? What brings you, how do you fulfill this desire for affection? Do you love yourself? Because a lot of times it can want other people. And I think that's another thing it has to see is not everybody's going to love the way you do, or, have the same needs that you do. I think that's a big part of that energy too.
I got into a situation with the Ace of Hearts, and I got blamed for so many things, but it wasn't just me. But yeah, I just it was just so hard to satisfy,
Mhm.
uh, just that need for affection or love. It really makes you look at your childhood as well. What programmed you to believe or think in such a manner. And speaking about programming, like you said, it's like the way you talk and think. They have the seven of clubs and Neptune. You
Mhm.
know, so seven of clubs is all about your mental attitude.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I think they transform into a seven of spades.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and then they transform to a seven of spades. So that faith
Hmm.
that's needed, and spirituality, as well. Seeing the growth within relationships, like not being so selfish and thinking about others, and some type of compassion, and being, like you said, that bridge between networks and people, and the seven of space has a lot to deal with. Ultimately, they're preachers in some type of way, or guides to help to other people, so they can't be as selfish as they tend to be either. But they have a lot of pressure. You talk about pressure. They sit on the king of diamonds. So there's also this balance between material, spiritual, and physical concepts of love. So like just balancing all these energies and the need and the responsibility, and put you in fields of like health or government, or dealing with people in some type of way, and like you said, maybe accumulating wealth by way of association, or being involved with helping other people. But like we say, if you're not, you can't be so selfish.
Yeah. It's interesting because the Ace of Hearts has the nines. So it's interesting when you look at all the aces spreads and how strong the nine energy is in their spreads. Like all of them.
You say all
Yeah.
the aces. Sorry.
Yeah, like the
Yes.
Ace of Clubs has two nines.
So,
Has two, then you look at the Ace of Hearts and the Ace of Diamonds. They also have the Nine of Hearts and Nine of Diamonds between both of those spreads because they're right next to each other. So it's fascinating to me how they, and it's, when you, and on the plates and in people's spreads, they show up together, So there is that element of, have being able to, it's like that, the aces are that light. They are the light because they represent the new, and really being able to, let something go and start something, a new beginning. And, and then when you look at the tens as well, the tens are the one, the ace with the higher self. So it's all very fascinating how it all kind of connects. And the ten of diamonds having those two aces in their spread, back to back is
yeah, they are. I
back
mean,
to, huh? Say it
no,
again.
yeah, it is like it's the one and the zero. The one is the ace of the self. So there's this relationship with the aces and the tens, um, throughout the spread. So yeah, the ten of spades has the ace of spades, Mars.
Mm-hmm.
The ten of diamonds has it, Venus. The ten of hearts, is, of course, is right behind the ten of diamonds, right?
Yep. They all have it in there. Even the ten of clubs has both the aces in their spread too. So you see how that kind of plays out. Me and my pattern, my.
I love the pattern stuff. I was yesterday talking with an Ace of Diamonds young girl going into senior year of high school, and she was having the same bump I've had with all these Ace of Diamonds. I told you it's been like an Ace of Diamonds summer. I had a whole bunch of Ace of Diamonds clients. It must be something I'll have to learn about Ace of Diamonds, right? And it has so much to do with having compassion for the other people involved, but not wanting to do it the same way anymore, right? So like she can see and wants to be maverick like and do it different, but yet the tenderness that she feels because of the kind of, like it's the kind of thing where the mom just projects on and passes on her fears and her worries all the time, and the ace is like, can you stop? Like, can you really just stop doing that to me? And the mom's, loving her the way she knows how to love her. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not intended to be thwarting in any way. And the daughter so appreciates the mother, like she really does. And I know the family a very long time. But there's a way that her own voice is getting diminished by the projection and the power of the things around her. So I would imagine all aces or all people who go through that part where you've got to tune into that, your voice, your intuition, your guidance or whatever, and not be kind of like flooded or shut down or pissed off by whatever somebody projects onto you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that comes, especially with sevens, have a really tough time with that. You know,
It has a
find
lot to do.
yeah the placement between the aces and the sevens as well, and then like as Gina was saying, the come with the nines to come in completion of understanding of oneself and one's mission and purpose. Without the projection of other people, of putting onto you what they think and what they want out of you. Like I said, that comes with the pressure of seven of spades also. And to have the
Yeah,
ace
that
of
makes sense. I just think I don't have a good signal, so I'm not going to keep jumping in and out. I think my signal's the weak one, so I'm being quieter.
no, you
But
fine.
I'm listening.
But yeah, to have the ace of hearts, to have the seven of clubs and Neptune, and then transform into a seven of spades, you know. Yes, and then the ace of spades has a relationship with the seven of hearts and seven of diamonds, right off top.
Two has both of them and the two nines. So when you really think about it, they actually do. They all have the sevens and the nines. Wow. Yeah. And I kind of, because they are very, self energy. And it's, yes. And it all starts from self, but also those sevens and nines, I think when you are, more aware of yourself and your energy and how you move and take accountability and
Mhm.
responsibility for that. It's like then no one can really move you off your square, or no one can, there's not an outside entity that has any like puppet strings, or control, I guess you could say, or you're not being driven by what someone else says or does or projects. But at the same time too, they also, those sevens and nines are very, giving as well, so they have to, it's like filling that vessel up first and then the overflow with that sevens and those nines, because they know that, again, it's like seeing yourself as the source,
Mhm.
which makes so much sense. And then, those sevens and nines, you give from that overflow, but without diminishing who you are or the square that you stand on. You know what I mean? Your own power, your own authority. I think that's a big part of that. And it's a big sense of taking responsibility and accountability, because I think with the sevens and the nines, the other side of that is then, not taking the accountability and the responsibility and blaming other people and not seeing yourself as the reason why things are playing out the way they are, when really it's just because, even when the aces show up, it really does make you have to kind of look at yourself.
Yeah, I call the seven of hearts the mirror all the time. Seven of hearts, seven of diamonds.
Yeah.
You know, it's a mirror, it's a reflection, because what you put out is ultimately a projection of yourself, or and it's going to come back to you in some type of way. So like you said, you got to take responsibility and accountability of way things are going in your life. I'm displacing the a nine of spades. Man, that is pretty tough. Trump is displacing that next year, so we're gonna see how it plays out in his life, right? Going to the presidential campaign. But yeah, it really takes everything. A lot of the energy, and I have a seven of hearts and seven of diamonds as a three of diamonds as well. They have a three of diamonds as moon, as you guys spoke about before. Yeah, yeah, I've had to really, I had a really real journey with the nine of spades, with taking responsibility. It has the sixes connected to those nines. and really looking at the journey and what's kind of taking place. Because by the time you get in the nine, it's experiences, it's the things that you've learned, things that you've taken with you, and so it's the karma, that's what karma is. I know we kind of make it sound spooky, oh, karma this and karma that, but it's really taking responsibility with
Mm-hmm.
the efforts which you put out, Saturn, the work, what have you done, what are you doing. Jay-Z was saying, I can look at back at last year 365, tell you what I've done, on a day in day out basis, what have you achieved, so that's a part of that success. The ten of diamonds, like you said, has the nine of hearts, seven of diamonds, and Pluto, and it's sitting Saturn, you know um, so you just have to think about the what have you put forth and where you putting your energy and your time on a daily basis, where you indulging putting your energy at, and what is the rewards that is reaping you. Because at the end of the day, you want to look back and something has been created. You know, it's a thought process.
It can be more long term and not so instant, right? Because I'll say in my altercation slash opportunity with the Ten of Diamonds, when I went into business with one, I really, was enamored by the Neptunian, the expansion, the ideas. And since the people I was around prior had a lot more of a like, keep it small, keep it safe, where you going? And this was like, let's go. And I was like, woohoo, like, wow, I want to go, man. Where do you go when you do this? And I was like, oh, that's where you go. You go where you still have to be accountable. You go where you still have to be truthful. You go where you have to do your work, but in the beginning of it, I was just so enamored by the whole dream and all of it, because I wanted to feel the possibilities of expansion in that way of my queen, right? It's the queen in me as I'm wearing this king-like way. But then in retrospection, because it all happened in 2015, so much of what was laid down, prayed about, thought about in different ways than maybe I would have dreamed, but things came to fruition, like things happened, like a lot of things moved. And I personally believe that we do like lay down paths, and it does take time for the bamboo forest to grow. It does take time for things to develop, because to me that, famous people, movie star, instant and then falling, no thank you. You know what I mean? That's not going to help me. I'm not looking to stand up real small and then fall. Like, I'm looking grow taller. But in that character, the expansion, willingness to be so brave and so crazy about what we would do and what we would say. And because I wasn't willing to be crazy, his crazy was exciting for me. Right? I mean, I'm crazy in the way I'm crazy. You all know that. But I mean, risky with things. I was just like, oh, I don't know. I was like, all right, yeah, let's go. So I do believe this week is about let's go. Like, let's just go for it and see where it lands. So how does that?
The Ten of Hearts, that's Michael Jackson card. You can he was said he was on the phone with Justin Bieber. And he was saying, dreams really do come true. That is actually one of the Ten of Hearts mottos. Is dreams really do come true. It's the optimism. It's the expansion. It is exciting. And that's where the Nine of Hearts and Seven of Diamonds fall. Is the work, is the time that it takes, and they don't put in the time or the effort. So yeah, along with the optimism, you also can't let your dreams die. Pluto, right? Saturn, don't let your dreams die because you didn't put in the work.
Yeah. Yeah, and having the Ten of Diamonds, having the nine hearts as a Pluto, and a seven as a reward card. I mean, like I said, you have to really. That's. I don't think people realize the pressure that the Ten of Diamonds, can have, and that's a big part of it. And like you said, it just doesn't. You have to put in the work. You have to, be with that Nine of Hearts and Pluto. That can be intense emotions, and things being almost seem like they could be ripped from you, because we tend to resist when there's a nine in Pluto. We really can hold on, and I think they have to really, the more they give, there's a sense of, all this success and all this attention that the 10 of diamonds can garner. It really has to have, I think, when the heart is in it and they're giving from that space, I feel like that's when the Jupiterian, essence really can shine a light on them, and they can achieve so much when they are, because that 9 of hearts at its highest is that agape love, a giver of love. There can be therapist type energy. So when they're being it's very charitable at its highest. And so the more that they give, I feel like that the more they actually open up, and that light, really can shine, and they can, be a vessel of this bright light, because they can have a really big heart, but they have to be able to let go. It's so challenging, I think, because that 9 of hearts of Pluto can be.
Like the rest of us, the ego comes into play, right? Because all that expansion and all that stuff was there, and even the hard work and a lot of it was there, like seriously. But being able to get over that, it wasn't going to be a 1,000-person festival with like music from across the world first time. Do you know what I mean? Like that it might grow to that in 10 years or 15 years. And that me personally, I didn't want a 1,000-person festival with like music. I was looking for like a family camp out where we could like learn about each other and grow more clear, the same kind of stuff I talk about.
Yeah.
But he saw me and thought, whoa, she's got like resources. She's gonna help this happen. All right, I'm gonna go for it. And I was like, I don't want to have a festival with 1,000 people and music and craziness and not enjoy my family. I want to sit around the fire and about people and open up my heart and get stronger. So there was an expansion that got hungry for its own idea. And I think that's another thing that can happen to us as humans, is keeping it to size and really matching what it is that keeps you feeling like you're getting nourished by whatever's happening. Because success sometimes can really take people's joy because it's a lot of work.
Yeah, that's why you gotta stay young and stay fun. And we're talking about the young energy that kind of happens. And it is, the 10 of diamonds isn't like a small energy; it is a crowd. It is a lot of people. The Ace of Hearts six. It is a little ace, right? But it's Jupiter Uranus, right? And both of those cards, as Electra Lady was saying, it has the Ace of Hearts, Venus, and then the 10 of Hearts has in Mars. So that's a so there is a lot of love and need for success and love for people, and it is ambitious. Aces are ambitious. It has this young creative energy that's behind it, you know and it says Jupiter Uranus, so it's here to expand and give love on a huge platform, or a stage in some type of way, as far as the 10 of Hearts and 10 of Diamonds. And also the 9 of Hearts, that's Beyonce card, So it's here to do things, and not in just a small way in a little camp setting. It's around a number of people. It's about huge sums and lump sums of money, because it's here to give on extreme levels. Those are like cards of.
You're probably right. I was definitely staying too small. You're right, Rashad. You know I'm famous for that. So it could be really expensive. Not that he'd be like, he said to me last time I saw him, he goes, that's still going to happen, right, Madeline? I said, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, that's the celebrity, that's the fame. That's where we get lost at, and the attention that can kind of happen. That's why I say some of those cards, like the Ace of Hearts, Ace of Diamonds, can't give those cards enough attention, or just for themselves. They got to be out in the crowd or around people, or being a part of a community organization. That it's not any that you want to stagnate. Even if they go into the service in some type of way, a hospital, or having themselves around people of knowledge, information, or value in some type of way. So it has to be a very socially active card. So a lot of times they do go in, as Jenny was talking about, healthcare or helping people. So it's and the 10 of Hearts may, instead of just helping one person, may have to help a lot of people, be in the crowd. They may not like the one to one. Is that they're a one to many, as Aquarius says frequently, type of card. So it's not like a in a teepee. You know, it's like um, in the Bowls, you know, stadium. But yeah, but I do have to run. I don't know where Gina where she went. I have
Yeah,
to.
I'm here. I'm getting ready. I have to go too.
Yeah.
All right, so Bill, good week and all let go. I'm gonna just send you the quick video of what it looks like. Look at that. Can you see it?
Oh wow.
I can't see. I don't know. I have to make it
You
bigger.
don't see the mountain?
I have to make it bigger now. I can't see it well.
I'll send you pictures. But yeah, so we're here. We're
Where you at?
happy, and thank you guys. What?
Where is that at?
Where am I at? I'm at Green Spring, Colorado.
Colorado.
I
Okay.
mean Colorado. I'm sorry, Utah. I'm
Utah.
lying. See, I'm
Okay.
making a blur. I'm in Green Spring, Utah. I got like 3 hours and 38 minutes until I get to where I'm gonna make home for a little while.
Well,
Well,
safe travels, and we will see you guys next
Thanks,
time.
guys.
be safe. All right.
All
See
Thanks,
right.
y'all later.
everybody.
See you soon. Bye, guys. Thank you.
Bye.